Can I find everything there is to do on Main Street USA in Disney World? It's a lot more than you think, and you don't want to miss a thing on Main Street. So I am going to do my best to do just that. Do everything without missing anything. Your challenge? Try and catch something I didn't do. I don't think you'll be able to, but we'll see. Main Street USA is maybe one of the most famous lands in a Disney park. It is right at the entrance of Magic Kingdom and will take you right up to the castle to enter the rest of the worlds of the Magic Kingdom. In this video, we're going to be exploring literally everything in Main Street USA so that you don't miss a thing, and I'm going to be sharing tons of tips and tricks for your Magic Kingdom day along the way. And I'll be darned if y'all find something that I haven't found, because I'm pretty sure I found pretty much everything. Evidenced by the fact that we're starting out here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to head inside to the iconic Walt Disney World Railroad, and then we'll come check out some of these little things out here. But the railroad is the first thing you see in Disney World, which is fitting because Walt Disney loved trains. He loved them so much that he actually had a model train built in his backyard, and trains are a significant feature in every single Disneyland park around the world. So you can certainly see a lot of trains because of Walt's love of them. Here on Main Street is one of the train stations for the Walt Disney World Railroad. Specifically, it is the Walt Disney World Railroad to Fantasyland. Now, historically and in a couple of years, this train will connect Fantasyland and Frontierland at Main Street. But with the current significant construction on new lands and areas over in Frontierland, the train is only going between Main Street and Fantasyland. But I highly recommend taking the train at some point just because it is such an iconic and cute experience. They have also updated the train so that the seats face each direction, because the train actually goes backwards over to Frontierland. And if you wouldn't feel comfortable riding backwards, you don't have to, you can face forward. The train station in general though is beautiful. It has this wonderful atrium, and you might not think that there's so much cool stuff in here, but there absolutely is. Like these real moving pictures. Let me get you in there. Ready? I got a little faster. Can you see? She looks like she's having a hard time. These are these historic, antique, moving picture machines. There are a few of them in here. There are 4, because there's one over there too. So you can come up here even without taking the train and check them out. There's also this incredible giant music box, and it's unfortunately out of order at this time, but if you catch it when it is not out of order, it is very cool, and as you can tell, legitimately historic. Or you can play football. This is like foosball football. Oh, I don't know how to kick the ball to start things off, but this is a great spot to wait for the train if there's not too long of a line. It's super cool and actually really sets the vibe of Main Street. The train itself pulls out on the platform. They come every 10 to 20 minutes. With loading and unloading, it really is more like 20, but it won't feel that way because the train will come in about 10 minutes. But you can just hop out on the train platform and it'll take you right over to Fantasyland. It just pulled off, as we saw. I am not going to take the train right now because that would take us off of Main Street. And this video's about Main Street USA, not Fantasyland. So we're going to carry on because we're not actually even done seeing the train station. Downstairs there are a number of exhibits to check out, especially if you've got any train buffs or Disney buffs. They explain how each of the 4 locomotives is named after a significant figure to the history of Disney World, or Walt Disney's love of trains, or Walt Disney love, Lillian. And all of this can just be explored downstairs. There's some press penny machines, as well as little train board, which is so cute. The whole train station is a nod and a tribute to the railroads of America and the history of them, which is very cool and definitely worth taking a look around. Look, there you go. Here's a little detail. Look at the names on this. D. Crockett, as in Davy Crockett. Railroad Pacific, that was the name of the backyard railway in Walt's yard. Let's see, what else we got? I know that obviously Lily Bell, Whispering Canyon Line, that's the restaurant over in Wilderness Lodge. And then Ward Kimball was an animator, I believe, who was also a huge train fan. So much so, I learned this from my dad, that he had an entire full-size railway built on a ranch he owned because it wasn't enough to have trains at Disney World. He had to have trains at home too. Now I believe we are also about to hear from the Dapper Dans. Dapper Dans are a historic barbershop quartet here in Magic Kingdom. Truly, the Dapper Dans were opening day performers in Magic Kingdom. In fact, they were opening day performers in Disneyland. It's a barbershop quartet. They'll tell cheesy jokes. They might play some fun bells and instruments, and they will certainly sing some classic barbershop quartet tunes. They are so much fun to see. You might see them standing around outside on Main Street. You might see them taking a Main Street vehicle and singing all the way up and down Main Street. But keep your eyes peeled. If you see some fellas for specifically in stripy vests, you're gonna wanna make sure you catch them. I see them right up here. Okay, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Gotta get back out and make sure we see literally everything. So, of course, Main Street is home to the main entrance to Disney World. Whether you're coming from the monorail, a boat, a bus, walking, you'll find yourself walking through these wonderful, beautiful green gates to get into Magic Kingdom. Of course, Main Street USA is the main entrance to Magic Kingdom. So you'll scan your tickets to get into Main Street USA. A couple of amenities here that are very important, even if they are a little boring. This stand over here is where you will find wheelchair rentals. It is also a small stall where I often buy sunscreen. Sunscreen is expensive here. Most things are overpriced here. So if you would like to get sunscreen, maybe do it at home in advance. But if you need some, they do have it here. It's a good place to buy it. And you can also get your wheelchair rentals here. There are lockers on Main Street USA. If you need access to a locker during your day, you can just come in here to book them. And this is a little locker rental kiosk. You can see a standard is $10, large is $12. And don't think I'm gonna forget to take my PhotoPass photos. There are tons of PhotoPass photographers on Main Street USA. Starting with, there will always be a PhotoPass photographer here unless something very strange is happening. This is the PhotoPass for the train station. It's a very iconic photo. And there's a bit of a long line. And I most recently took photos at this PhotoPass with my parents. So I'm actually gonna use those photos in lieu of taking new ones because those are obviously more special than just taking them by myself. Now, oddly, I am gonna step out of the park because there are two things right outside the park gates that are Main Street USA specific, even though they're technically not even in the park. So thank you. So one, guest services, always important if you're having an issue with your ticket. It's right here that you can just go to guest services and get that sorted out. But perhaps even more important, there's a bathroom. Yes, the main entrance bathroom located over here to the right. Honestly, tucked away, not a lot of folks know about it. And here's the thing, I'm taking this video seriously. And if you guys want more land tours, I'm gonna take all of those equally seriously, which means I'm developing something we're calling the Bathies, which is an award for bathrooms. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna see if this bathroom deserves a bathie or not, so that we can actually hunt down the best bathroom in Main Street USA. So I'll be right back. I'm not taking you with me because that would be weird. I mean, you are, the camera's gonna come, but I'm gonna turn it off. Sorry fellas, because I can only judge the women's, but this one's a bathie contender. It is not themed at all. It's just like blue tile. It's the most basic bathroom I've ever seen. But a lot of stalls, they have occupied and unoccupied markers on it. It was very quiet and very clean. I think because not a lot of people know it's here. So it's a bathie contender. We'll have to investigate more though. Next stop, another important amenity, one that I'm quite familiar with every time my godkids visit, is stroller rentals. You can get double strollers, single strollers. They're red, classic Mickey Mouse 5 strollers. $15 a day for a single, $31 per day for a double. And it's right here in the train station where you can come and pick up a stroller. So spotting something very fun. And I said I'm finding everything, which means I'm finding every penny machine as well. And I think we should get a press penny at every machine. Now, note here, if you want to get all 4 designs of a press penny, if you use your credit card, you will get all 4 designs at a press penny machine. If you use single dollar bills, you can get just one and it's a surprise which one you get. So I am gonna get 1 penny from every penny machine. I went to the ATM to get cash because I never have cash. And I had to ask guest services to break a 20 into 21s. They were happy to do so for me. So if you're planning on kind of exploring the different press penny machines, go to guest services and they will help you out making sure you have the cash you need. So $1 bill in the machine, okay. And then we're gonna turn, oh, okay. It's a very crisp $1 bill. I don't know why it's getting spit back out. Please. Okay, we're gonna call this machine doesn't want us to get a penny, but it has some cute ones, but I have a feeling we'll be able to find these elsewhere. This is the one I was really excited about because this is the train specific press penny machine. Please. That one took my $1, no problem. And now we get to make our penny. Oh, there's the penny. It gets hard when the penny's actually being pressed. Oh, are we done? Did we get it? It happened? Yay! Okay, which one did we get? We got, can you guys see it? It is the Mickey driving the train one. Heck yes. That's like the best penny in this machine. All right, adding it to the collection. My intention, if we do more of these land tours, is to collect a press penny from every penny machine, as long as the penny machine wants to give me a penny, unlike that one in there that didn't want to give me one. Now, this one wasn't listed on the map, but I did see a press penny machine right outside the arches, so I'm gonna go back out there. As we pass, I want to point out the Chamber of Commerce, which is lost and found, very important, as well as a quick popcorn cart. Okay, here it is, mystery press penny machine. What do we got? Okay, Captain Hook, Tinkerbell, and Peter Pan. Ooh, I am hoping for, oh, do I get to pick? I get to pick. Okay, yay. This one's actually got a bit edge. Okay, push the button. I want Captain Hook. And then, oh, this is one of the old school ones. I didn't even know there were these anymore. Yay! Oh, it's hot. Okay. Captain Hook. Okay, Press Penny collection coming along nicely. Let's carry on. Good time, I feel, to note that Magic Kingdom's entrance is actually supposed to be designed kind of like a movie theater entrance. So not only do you walk past all of these posters, which are supposed to be like movie posters, through these arches that then opens up and gets you into the park, you also find yourself walking on red pavement like a red carpet. Just like a little movie entrance, with the train station being your doors, basically. All right, that lost and found. Next door to lost and found, probably more important, is City Hall. City Hall is the actual guest services location. If you have any problems, you need any help, you've got questions, City Hall is your go-to spot. It will be happy to help you. It's also where the ATM is, as I just found out. And some pretty great photos of Walt on the wall. Some historic Disney World photos are on the wall in there. So if you happen to find yourself moping around while your dad or wife are taking a long time asking whatever question, you can look at all the cool pictures. I also have another restroom here. I'm quite familiar with this one, but I'm gonna go in, give it a fresh look for the bathies. Okay, this is our current bathies contender. These restrooms are huge. They are themed, so they feel very turn of the century Main Street. Tons of stalls, a little bit smelly, and they can get quite crowded. But because of the theme and because of how many stalls there are, and they're clean, they're just a little smelly. It's gonna be stronger than the ones we saw out there, so bathy's contender for sure. Fire station, coin machine, something really cool. I do recommend walking in here, even though there's nothing parked in here. They used to park the fire truck, the historic fire engine in here. Now there's not too much in here except some very cute 101 Dalmatians theming and fire department patches from all over the United States, which is very cool, especially if you have someone in your family who is a firefighter. There's of course a fireman's pole, very important. And apparently a press penny machine, which we have found. A phone, think anyone's there? You can't pick it up. I keep trying to pick these phones up. In theme parks, you never can. Okay. Oh, this is one of the old kind too, where we get to pick. Okay, so our options is 101 Dalmatians. I think we have to do the firefighter one because we're in the fire station. You get $1? Yeah. Oh, it's hot. Firefighter, Dalmatian, press penny. That was fun. All right, now we are on the parade route, which is what all this yellow tape is. We will talk a bit about parades later. But for now, I want to talk about the car barn. Now, the car barn is not a guest area per se. It is home to the Main Street vehicles, which are a Main Street attraction. Main Street vehicles ride up and down Main Street at limited times throughout the day. They're actual four-wheel historic vehicles. I rode in a 1950 Jitney just the other day. Very fun, and one of my favorite things to do in Disney World. The catch is, the only time you can ride these is early in the morning. They run pretty regularly. But then once the castle show and the parades start to pick up, they run a lot less commonly. And they're typically done running by 4 p.m. So if you want to ride these, do it early. Or really close up to 4 p.m. you might get lucky. The way to do so is to keep your eyes peeled for historic vehicles driving around either the hub or around in front of the train station. Those vehicles, it could be a jitney car, it could be a horse-drawn trolley, it could be a double-decker omnibus. If you see one of those vehicles, go ahead and stroll alongside it until it comes to a stop. Their stations are located at these light poles all around this front area as well as up at the castle. And a lot of people don't know about them, and the people that do know about them can't always predict when they'll be running or where they're gonna stop to pick up people up. So you can usually just follow one and hop right on. I've never had an issue doing that. In general, unless this sounds like a total must-do for you, you don't have to plan around it, but if you see one, get on it. No reason not to. It is a one-way trip either from the train station to the castle or the castle to the train station. Save you some steps and get a really unique view of Main Street. You definitely want to do this. This is a great time for me to point out the light fixtures. Take a look at these. It's going to be significant later. Just look at how they're very turn of the century, sort of gas lights with these big bulbs. Keep that in mind. We have to find a statue. I found it. Sometimes he's right here and sometimes he's over there. So we'll go see that statue in a minute because it's a very important statue to Disney World. Also, as I walk back over to the car barn, I want to point out this is Engine Company 71. 1971 was Disney World's opening year. So that's a little Easter egg there. And I have a very hard to find detail in the car barn. Inside the car barn, sort of off to that right side when the doors are open, you can see a single electric light bulb hanging from an exposed wire. Disney actually hires a man to hand make that single electric light bulb in the exact same manner, using the exact same tools that Thomas Edison used to make the very first light bulb. So that is a Thomas Edison style light bulb. Can't get more turn of the century than that. And it is in an area that only has its doors open for very small parts of the day, and a guest would never know that. So that's just the attention to detail that you just don't even realize that it's there. Just next door, we have Harmony Barbershop. Yeah, this is a real working barbershop here in Disney World. You can come and get haircuts here. My friend Breedlove did during our Everything in Disney World series, and my brother got a haircut here when he was a kid. Apparently, it was really bad, but we can't blame Harmony Barbershop for that. It could have been his hair. My brother also cut his own bangs out in a triangle shape when he was about 2 years old, and they never really grew back normally. So we really can't blame Harmony Barbershop. But bet you didn't think there was a real working barbershop in a theme park, did ya? All right, center area. Lots of things to note here. For one, we have where these friends are taking some photos. This statue is a statue of Roy O. Disney with Minnie Mouse. Roy Disney was Walt's brother, and you might not know, very integral to the opening of Walt Disney World. Walt had the idea for Disney World, the intention for Disney World, had bought land for Disney World, but unfortunately he passed away before he was ever able to see it come to pass. The only reason it did is because his brother Roy, his big brother Roy, who was always there to let Walt dream, came out of retirement to make sure that Walt Disney World saw its opening day. He also is the reason that Disney World is called Walt Disney World, because he wanted everyone to remember that this was a person's dream and not a company. So Roy, very significant. He did stand here on opening day, dedicate the Magic Kingdom, dedicate Disney World. And you can actually read that dedication on these plaques over here too. Just think that's the most beautiful story. Makes me tear up a little bit to think about, which maybe makes me a Disney adult. But were we questioning that at this point? I don't think so. Where's the flag? There's a flag. Interesting thing about this flag. So this flag here on Main Street USA is a real US flag. And why do I say that? That's because all those flags down all of Main Street USA are not real US flags. All of those flags that you can see are actually fake. They're missing either stars or stripes, maybe both. And that's because according to the American Flag Code of Conduct, all real American flags must be raised, lowered, and flown at half-mast when required. Due to the sheer number of flags on the street, that process would be way too much for them to do in Disney World. So most of them were fake to be able to circumvent the rules while keeping the theme accurate. But they do serve a real purpose. Every single one of those flagpoles that you see them on is a lightning rod, which is good because Orlando is the lightning capital of the US or the world or something. There's a lot of lightning here. You wouldn't believe it. And this one, the real one, is accurately raised and lowered every single day. In fact, in a special ceremony called the Flag Retreat Ceremony, where Disney will ask a guest who is a veteran to come and participate in the ceremonial lowering of the flag. The Dapper Dans will also come and sing the national anthem. It is a very patriotic, very classic, very full American tradition that they are doing every single day here in the Magic Kingdom. I bet you guys thought you were gonna get me with this one, but you're not. There are augmented reality photo lenses that you can find in the My Disney Experience app. Now, some of them, a lot of them, you can just do at home. Some of them are location specific. And there is one at this location. So you want to go down to the Disney PhotoPass section and the PhotoPass lenses section. Okay, they don't have the one that is specifically right here anymore, but I think it's time we do something, an actual attraction, an actual line. We're gonna head into Town Square Theater to meet none other than Mickey Mouse, the Master Magician. First, I wanna head into the Emporium because there's something very specific I wanna buy to aid us with our meeting of Master Magician Mickey Mouse. And it also looks like Mulan, who is meeting just a second before him. So here's the plan. We're going to meet Mulan, meet Mickey Mouse, and then catch the Festival of Fantasy Parade. Sound fun? Sounds fun to me. Now, my plan, if you guys like these videos, is to do them all over Disney World for all of the different lands in Magic Kingdom and Epcot everywhere, so that we can really make sure that we're seeing everything there when you guys are here and you can explore it with me. I would love to do that, so you have to let me know in the comments if that sounds like fun to you. But just in case we do end up doing it, I have something very specific in mind I'm going to buy here at the Emporium. I just have to find it. Autograph book and official autograph pin. You don't need either of these things. You can bring a plain notebook and a regular pin, but you know, we had to shop at Emporium, so might as well. I'm hoping we're going to be able to catch Mulan real quick. So secretly, not really secretly, but sometimes on Main Street, either right here by Curtain Call Collectibles or across the way close to the guest services location at City Hall, you can find character meet and greets. Most often, I spot Mulan and Snow White in these spots, but keep your eyes peeled and make sure to check your My Disney Experience app because they will be listed. You also might catch some other friends. I've seen Mary Poppins and Bert wandering, although that's a little bit less common. It doesn't happen every day necessarily. Hi, Hawaiian. How are you?
Oh, I did a little bit of training this morning.
Okay.
But before that, we got to eat a lot of dumplings.
Oh, okay. So it balances out.
It does balance.
I love it. I love it.
How about you? What is your mission today?
Oh, well, I have just been exploring. I'm trying to do everything on Main Street. Everything.
Whoa.
So yeah, I'm going to do it all.
That's a big-
Yeah, I know. And you don't think it, but then there's a lot. All right, we're going to do something a little bit dicey here because I do want to meet Mickey. And I also want to see the parade because both of those things are important for Main Street. It still has a minute to get down here, so I think we're going to try to take advantage of this 10-minute wait to meet the one and only Mickey Mouse, which will happen during parade time. Even on extremely busy days, it's very busy today. He's still only 10 minutes because the parade is coming. So we're definitely going to go try to meet Mickey Mouse real quick and then catch as much of the parade as we can. So let's go see Mickey. Now we're talking a bit about characters, and I think how easy it is to meet Mickey Mouse is a big thing that a lot of people might be wondering about these parks. And interestingly, you might not think this, but in Magic Kingdom, it's actually more easy to meet Mickey than it can be in other parks. One of those reasons is because the Mickey line moves pretty fast here. He's on his game here at Town Square Theater. And the other is you can kind of plan around it. So you can either get here really early in the morning and he'll have short waits, or you can go at parade time. For pretty much the entire hour around the parade, maybe even a little longer, his wait time drops so short. Hi! It is just a posted 10-minute wait right now. There's nobody in the line. And I think that's going to be pretty accurate. If not, it'll be a little less time waiting to meet Mickey. Sometimes waiting to meet Mickey can be 40 minutes or an hour, so this is really awesome. And the best part is the wait time stays low for the entire parade. So pretty much for about 30 minutes prior to the parade to maybe usually the parade's at 3, maybe 4 p.m., Mickey's line stays pretty low. It can spike up when the parade ends, but typically you have plenty of time to not only see Mickey, but also catch the parade, as long as you're not concerned with staking out a spot. And honestly, there were some spots on the curb, and it's a busy day, so we could probably get a spot right on the curb after this. When you meet Mickey in Magic Kingdom, you'll meet him in Town Square Theater, where he is backstage getting ready for his magician act. So it is Mickey in a little magician's costume in a super cute little backstage room. It makes for great pictures and a great moment with Mickey. Lots of stuff to talk about. You've asked him about his magic tricks. Hey Mickey, how's it going? Oh, I'm good. I'm happier now I get to see you. Drop my stuff off. You having a good day getting ready for a show tonight? Yeah, do some cool magic. I bet you're gonna have some pretty good tricks. Hopefully I'll come by and see your show. Yeah. Can I get your autograph, Mickey, since you're such a star? I absolutely love Festival of Fantasy. It is such a fun parade. I used to not think I was a parade person, and then I stopped and gave it a chance one time, and I was like, oh, I was wrong. This rules. Festival of Fantasy is not the only parade you can see on the parade route here. You can also see the full nighttime parade, Disney Starlight, Dream the Night Away, which is a nighttime parade featuring Moana and Peter Pan and the Blue Fairy. Very beautiful parade. And there is a little mini parade, a cavalcade, called the Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade that you can catch in the mornings typically. On that parade, you can see a ton of maybe harder to find Disney friends. But now that the parade's done, let's head back inside Town Square Theater because it's not just meeting Mickey in here that you can spot. We've got a couple more merchandise spots. Of course, if you want the big shebang, the best of the best merchandise, the biggest selection, you want to head into the Emporium. But the Emporium can be overwhelming, and also there's some very specific reasons you might want to head into this section. So right when you exit from meeting Mickey, I was rushing to the parade, but right when you exit from meeting Mickey, you'll find yourself in Curtain Call Collectibles. Curtain Call Collectibles is a store that has variety of headwear, kind of more basic apparel, lots of ears. They've got some pins, but mostly Mickey and Minnie themed merch because you've just met Mickey Mouse. So this is a great spot to come for your classic Mickey items. And also the Main Street stores, you really just want to look around in them. It's a little harder to do in the Emporium because the Emporium is so slammed. But in these other stores that are a little emptier, you can see that there is some serious theming going on in these stores. If you just look up, that's Mickey's house. And it's the birdhouse. It's Mickey's birdhouse. It looks like he was just finished building it. That is so cute. What's over here? Crate and cage performers ship alligators separately. I see. Oh, the pigs must be coming. Yep, straw, sticks, bricks. Rent one machine. No ham on menu for the cast picnic. Yeah, you'll definitely just want to look around these stores. That's creepy. You just never know what you'll spot. Maybe creepy stuff from the turn of the century. This is also where you'll find a kind of rite of passage souvenir, which are customizable Mickey ears. They can do embroidery on headbands on ears, and the ear hat embroidery is really what I'm always doing because this is such a classic souvenir, and whenever I bring a new kid to Disney, it's always big to give them their little ear hat. Back over this way, we have Box Office Gifts, which is actually a more art-geared location. This is a spot where you can shop a lot of Disney art, Disney prints. They have like smaller prints, they have figurines. So if you're looking for some really cool, maybe like Disney decorations, this is the place to look. Those are awesome. Plus they have this giant statue of Mr. Toad. And who doesn't want that? Just across the way is the entrance to Tony's Town Square restaurant. This is a Lady and the Tramp themed restaurant that is Tony's from the movie. So it's Italian food. Used to be considered one of the worst restaurants that you could find in Disney World, but has seen some menu improvements. And now I actually really enjoy it. Do I think it's a total standout? Not necessarily, but I do think the garlic bread is, and isn't that all that matters? Plus, you can get one of these beautiful tables on the patio with views of the parade, where you can even have a glass of wine. Magic Kingdom's a dry park, but you can drink in table service restaurants. And there's a really fun detail. If you've got any Lady and the Tramp lovers, often under a stroller right here, we have Lady and Tramp's paw prints in a heart in the pavement. Because of course they ate and fell in love at Tony's. My notes say there's a penny machine in curtain call. We can't miss a press penny machine. Ton it down. I do see a machine of some type over there. Moment of truth. I think we have press pennies. All right, what do we got? Lady and the Tramp ones. Yes, okay. And Disney World 2026. But we are of course getting Lady and the Tramp because we're at Tony's. I think we should get the one with all the pups on it. That's so cute. I bet you had no idea that there was this much stuff literally just in the first. We haven't even gone up Main Street at all yet. But there's a lot of stuff. So you've been in the Emporium. You can spend a lot longer than we did in there. It's got pretty much everything. It's the best place to grab your souvenirs. Big tip, don't head there right after fireworks. It is very hard to shop. Unless you know what you're getting, then maybe you can, but it is a intense one. We're gonna head into Main Street Confectionery. Now, for any of the table service restaurants that you're seeing in this video, we have full reviews on the channel of them. So you can see our full Tony's Town Square review on the channel now to see what we thought of it and if maybe you would like to make a reservation there. Here in Main Street Confectionery, I have eaten everything here. Literally everything. The sugar overload was unbelievable. But this is the candy shop, sweet shop of Magic Kingdom. A lot of folks think Main Street Bakery is where the baked goods are going to be. They're actually going to be here in these bakery cases. It's typically very busy because, of course, you want a cupcake or a cookie sandwich or a brownie when you're here in Magic Kingdom. I would highly recommend getting those things, those big fluffy cookie things. Those and the Rice Krispie treats are my favorite, but honestly, you can't really go wrong. Just don't get the marshmallow ones if you only kind of like marshmallow. You can also get slushes in here, which are very popular right now because it is quite hot. And really cool reason for checking out the confectionery, even if you're not buying anything. One, it smells great, but two, over here is the Sweetest Spoon Showcase Confection Kitchen. You can literally see them making the confections. You can see them putting together the caramel apples, the Rice Krispie treats, decorating them. They'll do it right on these tables right here. Look, we're literally in the middle of it right now, which is so cool to see, and something I think you should make a tradition is stopping by the confection window and checking out the confectioners. If you're more of a popcorn kind of person, there is a whole kernel kitchen back here where you can chef up your own popcorn varieties, popcorn mixes with sauces and candies. I'll warn you now, it gets messy. And they have lots of prepackaged, but the only real reason you get prepackaged Disney snacks is if you are on your last day and have a lot of dining credits that you didn't use from your Disney dining plan, so you need to get a lot of stuff to pack to go home, then you can do it, but otherwise stick to the fresh stuff. The confectionery was actually redone a few years ago with a new theme, which is that Main Street Confectionery Sweetest Spoon Showcase, and a number of competitors from around Main Street have come together to see who has the sweetest spoon. You can actually see some of the prize winners up on top of the registers. They've got their portraits, and there's even some window displays that show you what they're known for. That's the fun thing about Main Street and Disney World in general is there's always a story. There's always a story going on in every store you're in. There's a story. You wouldn't know it all the time, but you're not supposed to necessarily know every story as long as you get the vibe because the story is going on and the world feels live around you. Just next door we have Main Street Cinema. This is a really interesting shop. This is a merchandise shop. Typically has apparel cocktail pins, hats, as you can see, kind of the same vibe with different items of the other merchandise shops we've been in. The catch is, when Magic Kingdom opened, Main Street Cinema was just that, an actual cinema. It showed little movies on a screen in here, little Mickey shorts and things like that, and they still have a little shop behind the register where they are playing what looks to me like maybe some 1990s, maybe earlier Disney World footage. I think that is so fun that they're just playing that in here. And would I just sit in here and watch it? You bet I would. Before we head into our next shop, I want to pop out into the street for a moment because there's something really interesting about these buildings. Actually, many things that are interesting about these buildings. One is that they do use forced perspective. So all these buildings look to be 2 stories. Some even look to be 3 stories. None of them are that big. They are using forced perspective, which is where the bottom floor uses real perspective. It's what you'd expect the perspective to be. But as they go up, things are smaller and smaller. So those windows at the very top there are very small. The flags are very small. And it's to make the buildings seem a lot taller than they actually are to help sell that illusion. Also out here, you can smell the smells, maybe smell a little bread baking. And that's because Disney does use scents to help tell the story too. This is pretty well known, but you want to keep your eyes up because the windows on the second floor of Main Street do have nods to Disney legends, Imagineers, folks who worked on the Disney films, Walt's family, and Walt himself are all on these windows up on the second floor of Main Street. There are some really cool ones, so keep your eyes peeled. My current favorite that I recently just spotted is there's one that is a Chinese restaurant above Casey's Corner, which I have never spotted before. And here's one of those confectionery window displays. You'll notice that all the windows on Main Street come a lot lower than windows would have been in the 1900s and really are now for window displays. And that's because Walt envisioned Main Street and Disney World as a place that families could come together to enjoy. And as a part of that, they made the window displays low enough that little kids would be able to look in them too, just like their parents. Continuing on the way, the Emporium literally stretches almost the entire way of Main Street. So like I said, it's the place to shop. It stops only right up there before you get to a restaurant, which we'll check out. Well, we're gonna head into our next spot, which is Uptown Jewelers. This is a little bit of a fancier store. Typically you'll find collaborations that designers have done with Disney. You might find Stony Clover or Pandora. Lots of jewelry, lots of watches. They've got Citizen watches here. You got lug bags. There's lots of different collaborations in here. Loungefly, both more inexpensive, fun jewelry. And then they do even have some fancier jewelry. And of course the Pandora in the back. So if you're looking for a more special souvenir, this is the spot to step in. We're gonna go out this door because Main Street has a side street and I love it dearly and I want you to see it. Welcome to Center Street, friends. Couple things that are good about Center Street. One, it is home to one of the locations in Magic Kingdom where you can get hand-painted custom parasols, a character done of you and your family, or silhouettes. I love these souvenirs. They are portrait silhouettes, and you can see their price very reasonable. This is under $15 per person. The oval frame is an additional $16.95 if you want it. These artists will cut out a silhouette of you or your whole family. And I just think this is such a Peter Pan souvenir. Center Street in general is a little bit quieter, especially when these shops close up a little later in the day. Center Street tends to be very quiet. You can usually find a nice table to sit back here or a nice bench and just soak in that Main Street atmosphere without all the crowds of the main thoroughfare. Also, you'll want to listen closely by this building because it's not just smell, it's not just sight they use to tell the stories. You might also hear some dance lessons happening coming from this dance studio right upstairs. They also use sound. Okay, I think it's a good time to point out, remember I told you to remember those light fixtures? I think it's a good time that we talk about that. So yes, you'll still see those gas globes, we'll still see those gas fixtures here, but as you look down Main Street a bit, down towards the end, those fixtures over there are electric. They switch to electric lights, and that is because as you go up Main Street, it's supposed to symbolize you sort of moving through the progress of the 20th century. And of course, electricity was invented and started rolling out. So even the light fixtures changed. Now, as I mentioned, the Emporium is huge, but even though it's pretty much just a huge catch-all store for everything you can find all around Magic Kingdom, it's also got a story of its own. That story being that it is owned by a man named Osh Popham, but Osh Popham is actually based on a shopkeeper played by Burl Ives in the 1963 Disney film Summer Magic. And the story is that Osh decorated his store with elegance and charm, like stained glass signs, wood carvings, ornate ceilings, and he even had his store's expansions wired for electricity. So as you move through the Emporium, You will also see the lights change, which is pretty cool. And you can see it says Osh Popham Proprietor right here, because he is. And when you enter this first section, this is Osh's original section of the Emporium, is this first room with those custom chandeliers. So the electric lights point downward, the gas lamps point upward. And as you move through, it's because Osh's store got so popular that he had to expand. And that expansion is here, the Emporium Gallery, where you can find a mural up at the top of the wall that has Osh's happy customers enjoying the Emporium up there. And you can even tell when this expansion happened because it says it on the door. Osh decided to expand in 1901. There you go, though. There's a press penny in here. Let's find it. These are baseball themed. Oh, they're just sports in general. We have to go baseball, and I think we should go Mickey playing baseball. Mickey playing baseball. Okay, before we cross the street again, I want to show you this door, which is the casting agency door. It says, a quote from Walt that says, "It takes people to make the dream a reality." This is a door that is supposed to pay tribute to all of the cast members who helped to make the dream a reality here in Magic Kingdom. And it's actually a tradition for a lot of folks when they get the news that they are becoming a cast member, go and take a photo right here at the casting agency door. All right, let's cross. We got some more stuff to see on the other side of the street for sure. An absolutely wonderful store that you should go to whether you are interested in buying expensive crystal arts or not is Crystal Arts. This is an Arribas Brothers store. Arribas Brothers is significant to Disney because Walt Disney himself actually saw the Arribas Brothers work at the World's Fair, and he loved it so much that he decided they should be some of the people who had their own shop on Main Street, USA in Disneyland. So Arribas Brothers were handpicked as a Disneyland merchant by Walt, and they are still found in Disney parks around the world today. They make beautiful, stunning crystal creations. They make tiaras. You can make a custom tiara. And some stuff is more reasonable, some stuff is more dramatically expensive, but a huge reason I love to come in to Arribas Brothers is because you can often see them actually doing glass engraving, which is wonderful, or if you're really lucky, like we apparently are right now, you can see them actually working on blown glass. It is so hot back here. He's explaining how he does it too.
Put it with glass color.
Pretty cool, right? I think it's pretty cool. I'll be honest with y'all, this video is making me fall more in love with Main Street USA. So I hope it's doing the same for you. If it is, you can tell me by giving the video a like. Just an idea. Helps us out. Next up, we have Main Street Bakery. Now, Main Street Bakery used to be just that, a bakery. However, it is now the park Starbucks location. That was a big problem for a lot of people. I was one of them, but I'm used to it now. The confectionery is where you can get your baked goods, but this is truly a Starbucks. It is a full-service Starbucks. They do have a few additional items that a regular Starbucks doesn't have, including like this Mickey cinnamon roll, but it is mostly just a regular Starbucks that has a very long line all the time because apparently Disney makes people need their coffee. Now, also, Photo Pass, all up and down Main Street. These are all kind of the same. They have different names in the app and everything, but really up and down Main Street, you'll see green shirts everywhere, and those folks are taking castle pictures. If you see someone that has a really long line, there's a photographer that has a really long line, keep going, try the next one. Usually there's somebody that only has 1 or 2 people in line versus a line that have like 10 people to get that castle picture. And they're all up and down Main Street. You gotta get the castle picture, so you don't gotta wait in line for it. Now, I told you about the windows. There's lots of great ones. There's that Chinese restaurant one. I'm not sure who it's a tribute to because the name is a little hard to see because it's below the Keys Corner sign, but there is one over here, the Empty Lot Co. Real Estate. And Empty Lot was one of Walt's dummy corporations used to buy Florida land in secret so that people wouldn't know Walt Disney was buying land and start jacking up the prices. Which is very funny because it's just empty lots. He named it a pun, the most title giveaway pun ever. One of my favorite things is that a very kind of young and up-and-coming reporter from Orlando Sentinel here in Orlando, a publication that is still running, actually was the one to figure out that it was Walt Disney buying land. She cracked the story. She asked him about it directly at a press conference and he freaked out, and I think that's awesome. There you go. Empty lot real estate investment. Come on, Walt. Come on. I mean, you gotta give him that. It's funny. We are getting to the end of Main Street, but not to the end of the stuff that's available here in the land of Main Street. For one, we're coming up on Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. This is one of my favorite, absolute favorite spots in Magic Kingdom. It just serves Edie's hand-scooped ice cream, but they have sundaes, they have hot peanut butter sauce, which I love. It's on the menu, but it's there. You just have to ask for it. This is just regular, good hand-scooped ice cream, but I gotta tell you, hand-scooped ice cream just tastes better when you look in a Cinderella castle. So I love stopping by here. Also, the Braille map for Magic Kingdom is located once you get kind of close to the hub, which I love. They have a Braille map. I think there's one also inside guest services. We'll head this way first as we find Plaza Restaurant. Now, Plaza Restaurant is another of Main Street's table service restaurants. We do have a review on the channel of this one as well. You can learn more about it. It is a turn-of-the-century style restaurant. It's very beautiful in there, but you might expect to have views of the castle from such a great spot, and you really don't, unless you're lucky enough to end up in one of these tables, and even then, it's typically pretty obstructed by these umbrella tables out front. The food is sort of classic American fare. It's honestly nothing to write home about, but if you really need a sit-down meal, it's obviously a good vibe. Let's go this way. Okay, technically, these are on the map as the Plaza Restaurant restrooms, which is very funny because they're obviously Tomorrowland, but, you know, we'll give it to them. I'm gonna go in for our bathies. Our strongest bathie contender remains the ones by City Hall. These are nice. I find these ones are always very clean. There's a good number of stalls, but not as many. Not as smelly as that one, but it's not super cutely themed like the other one is. And the other one has a really big mirror, lots of sinks, so many stalls. So that's still gonna be our bathie contender. But we have one more potential winner, so we can't call the bathies just yet. Across the way, we have Casey's Corner. You've probably heard of Casey's Corner. It's one of the most popular restaurants in Magic Kingdom. It's a hot dog place, and it is themed to the American poem, Casey at the Bat, which inspired a Disney short cartoon, which is very cute, and you know, the message is, don't be too prideful, I think. I don't know, I enjoy the cartoon and the poem, but you can go in Casey's Corner. It's a whole baseball-themed hot dog stand. Also the home to the famous corn dog nuggets. And it's not just a very cute hot dog stand, it also is home to the Casey's Corner pianist. There's a piano here, and during many parts of the day, an incredibly talented pianist will play for the folks eating and hanging out around Casey's, and he'll even take requests. Extremely talented. There are a couple of different ones. Everyone's a really big fan of Grayson, but honestly, if you see any of the Casey's Corner pianists, they're fantabulous, and you should request a favorite song of yours. They know pretty much every Disney song known to man ever that's ever been created. I'll just show you. This is sort of the eating area for Casey's Corner, and you can see all baseball themed, baseball everywhere. And it connects right up to the Emporium. I actually think that press vending machine that we did in the Emporium used to be the one that was in Casey's Corner. They just moved it a bit. All right, next up, our other bathrooms. Are they under construction? Am I gonna have to do this from memory? I think I can. I use these ones a lot. They are. Okay, so these bathrooms, this is tough because I think these would be the closest contender to those ones at the front, but they are equally crowded and they're a little bit smaller. So I think we're gonna give it to the one at the front because a lot of stalls. You're not really gonna have to wait there because there's so many stalls, tons of sinks, huge mirror, cute theming. I don't like that it was smelly. I don't like giving the bathie to a bathroom that was smelly, but I just think it's the best one. But honestly, of all the bathrooms on Main Street, you can't really go wrong. There's no bad bathrooms. But our bathie goes to the City Hall bathrooms. Congratulations, City Hall bathrooms. Some important amenities here. We have first aid at the baby care center. First aid can actually get you little single doses of medication if you have indigestion or if you have like a headache. They can give you little single doses of medication for that. Baby care center does have for purchase baby supplies if you forgot something or need something, as well as quiet spaces. You can take your baby and feed them or help them calm down, whatever you need. First aid also, this is like a massive pro tip. First aid also has a great place to fill up with water. They have filtered water that's hooked up to the water supply in first aid, and it's cool. So for me, it's very important I stay hydrated. I get sick otherwise. This is how I found this out. I like to fill my water up and that's what I'm gonna do. And finally, we're gonna wrap this up the only way that I can think to, and that is by stopping by the Partner statue. The Partner statue is the centerpiece of Magic Kingdom, next to Cinderella Castle, of course. It is a statue of Walt holding Mickey's hand and pointing out at Main Street, USA, at all the families here. It is an incredible statue that pays homage to the original creator of all the magic that we still see and enjoy today, all Disney. You can get a PhotoPass photo with it, but of course,
There's someone
gotta stop by and say hey to Walt and Mickey.
the land of the Mystic Mountains.
I truly had so much fun exploring Main Street, USA today with you guys. I hope you did too. I hope you learned something new and just really got to experience this land with me. Remember, you're supposed to find something I didn't talk about. And for those of you that are already ready, sorry to say, you can also do trivia in the Play Disney Parks app on Main Street USA. So if anybody was holding that one, didn't forget. But let me know in the comments if there's anything to do on Main Street USA that I didn't talk about. And if you would like to see more of these videos, I would really love to keep doing them. So also let me know in the comments if that's something you want to see. And you drop the secret code along with your comment to tell me that you made it all the way. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We upload tours, tips, games, and more from Disney World and beyond all week because we are serious about fun. I'll see you next time. I love Main Street USA. I live here now. They can't make me leave. They can and they will.